Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So of course today I'm going to be bringing you another scarf tutorial. I just want to say I hope that you guys have enjoyed the past several scarf tutorials. This has been a fun season and I really feel like I've brought the variety. I always do, or at least I always try to, but yeah, hopefully you guys have been enjoying these scarf tutorials. In today's video, as I said, I'm going to be bringing you another scarf tutorial because it's scarf season, of course. And for many of you, I must say it is time for you to face your fear. I know some of you guys are afraid of things like the C2C stitch, and some of you have told me that finally you were able to learn it from watching my tutorial, so I'm very happy to hear that. Well, hopefully this tutorial will serve as yet another one that helps you overcome that seemingly insurmountable task of crocheting the cable stitch. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making a scarf with the cable stitch. We're going to be using the Arabelle cable stitch, which is composed of 9 stitches. And yeah, you guys can do this. I know some of you need a little bit of encouragement. Please give this video a try. Give me a try. Give me the opportunity to teach you because it's not as hard as it seems. When you organize your crochet, it helps so much, and so I'm going to be showing you how to do that in this video. So things you will need, obviously, skein of yarn. As always, I'll leave a link to this if I can find this. I'll leave a link in the description box, so check that out. This is a bulky number 5. It calls for a 6.5 or K US hook. I'm going to be using the 7mm because of my tension. This is 7.9 ounces, so it's bigger than the standard skeins that I normally use, which is about 225 grams. It's 309 yards or 282 meters. Okay, so yeah, this is a beautiful colorway, and I had to really think of what colorway was appropriate with my 2 goals. One goal, it turning out to be a beautiful scarf, but then the other goal, making sure you beginners could see what you need to see with a seemingly complicated stitch. So I decided upon this, so hopefully it will yield the desired results. Alright, so scarf, crochet hook, need a pair of scissors, darning weaving tapestry needle, and if you happen to have them, these 2 are optional, but some stitch markers, 2 or 3 stitch markers. Let's get started. As you guys can see, I haven't used this board since I crocheted the scarf, the sweater, so don't pay attention to that. If you watch that tutorial, you'll see all this. Alright, so I just want to show you that since we're doing the cable stitch, you know, you have this like interlapping braids, okay? Basically like that, right? And what I'm saying is the distance from here to here, because there are basically 3 going in each direction. You'll see. But basically this is 9 stitches. This is made up of 9 stitches. It's like 3 strands going in different directions, okay? So that's 9 stitches. So that's the bare minimum number of chains that we're going to crochet. But then you're also going to need how many ever stitches on the side. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to put 4 and then 4 on this side. Remember, symmetry is everything in crochet. Alright, so we have the 4 on each side plus the 9, and then we're going to add 2 more stitches for that turning chain. Okay, so 4 plus 9 is 13 plus 4 is 17 plus 2 is 19. So for us, we're going to be chaining out 19. Okay, that's our magic number. If you want to make yours wider, then you're always going to need 9 stitches for that cable part. But if you want to make on either side wider, you can add more stitches. Okay, or if you want to do multiple cables, you could always add multiples of 9 depending on how many cables you want. but that's more advanced. We'll get to that in a future video. This is just the basic airbow cable stitch. Once I prove to you that you can crochet this, then we'll get to more advanced cable stitches. Crocheting multiple cables in a piece of work. Alright, I'm talking a lot in this video. I'm so sorry. So we're going to start out with the slip knot. We'll take our yarn, wrap around our finger, twist exchange. Now wrap around your finger that way. We're going to pull this one over that one and off the finger. While lifting up on the one on your finger, you'll insert your crochet hook into the loop. Pull to tighten. So remember, our magic number was 19, so that's how many chains I have to crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay? Now this is going to be a decently wide scarf. Now I'm going to put 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So here's our hook. Here's the 1st chain from the hook, the 2nd chain from the hook, the 3rd chain from the hook, and the 4th chain from the hook. The good thing about this bulky yarn is that you can see the stitches a little bit more easier. Alright, so to make a double crochet, you yarn over. I'm going back to that 4th chain from the hook, and I'm going to put a double crochet in it. Yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. By crocheting into this 4th chain from the hook, when the hook was there, we left 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And those 3 chains will count as a stitch. And now we're going to put a double crochet in every chain across. So yarn over. This double crochet is in that chain, so this is the next one right there. Okay. And make a double crochet, enter, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. Continue putting 1 double crochet in every chain across, and I'll meet you at the other end. Let's count our stitches. So remember, the 3 chains that were left by crocheting to the 4th chain from the hook counts as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay? So we chained out 19 and we ended up with 17 stitches. Alright, so that's row 1. Row 1 was easy. So for the next row, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work, and we're going to put a double crochet into the first 4 stitches. Okay, so this is the chain 1. It's coming right out of that stitch like that, right? When I pull it up, that's the chain 1. It's that same stitch. It's the last double crochet of the previous row of row 1. So that's where we're going to put the double crochet. So the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make the double crochet like that. And then we put a double crochet in the next 3. So next stitch, slice the icing off the top of the cake, double crochet. Next stitch, double crochet. Just make sure you're not splitting your yarn. And next stitch, double crochet. Okay, so these are our 4 stitches. This first one always looks a little weird because you chained 1 before you put the double crochet in that stitch, but here's the top of that. So you see 1, and that's where we're going to enter when we crochet into it when we come back. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so remember, it's 4, 9, and 4. We just made these 4 stitches on that first edge. Now it's time to start working the cable stitch. Okay, so this is how it's gonna go. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches. So you see this is the last stitch that we crocheted into right there. So we're going to skip 1, skip 2, and skip 3. Okay, so skip 1, 2, 3, and that means in this stitch, that's where we're going to crochet. Okay, into that stitch, we're going to put a front post treble crochet. Okay, so to make the front post treble or triple crochet, we yarn over twice. So for the double crochet, we yarn over once, but we're making a triple or treble crochet, so we're going to yarn over again, one more, 2. Why are we yarning over so much? Because we have quite the distance to get to. Okay, and this is the stitch that we're going to be posting around right there, right? So I don't know if you guys have done the front post, but I'm going to teach you now if you haven't. When you make a front post, any type of stitch, whether it's a double crochet, half double crochet, treble crochet, you come from the front, so on the right side of the stitch, from the front like that, you go to the back like that, and then we're going to go just around that stitch, so around the stitch, back out to the front like that, and our loops are still on there. Okay, so we went from the front to the back out to the front, just on the other side of the stitch, and now we're going to bring our yarn forward and yarn over again, and then we're going to pull through like that. Okay, and now we're going to finish up by yarning over and going through 2 3 times. So yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Okay, and that is a front post treble crochet. Okay, now we are going to make another one in the next stitch. So the next one is there. So let's do this again. Yarn over twice, 1, 2. Okay, from the front, go out to the back on the other side of the stitch, right? See that? We're going to go just around the stitch and come back out to the front. Now we're going to bring our yarn forward so we can yarn over, and now we're going to pull the yarn through to the front. This will leave us with 4 loops on our crochet hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to yarn over and go through 2 3 times. So yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, that's 1. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, that's 2. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, that's 3. Alright, it's time to make one more of these. So we'll yarn over twice, 1, 2, and here's the next stitch. Okay, so go from the front, just on the right side of the stitch, out to the back. Then we're going to go around the stitch and come back out to the front. Notice where our yarn is. Our yarn is to the back, so we need to bring it to the front so that we can yarn over. We're going to pull through. That's going to leave us with 4 loops on our crochet hook. Now we're going to yarn over, go through 2 3 times. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, yarn over, go through 2, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 3. Okay? And those are our 3 front post treble crochets. So now it's time to crochet into the 3 that we missed here. We didn't miss them, we skipped them, right? Remember these 3 stitches that we skipped? 1, 2, 3. It's time to crochet into those. We're also going to be making the front post treble crochet. And we always, even though we're going back, you still want to go from, you want to crochet from right to left. So that means we're going to be starting with the stitch and going that way. Alright, so you guys know how to make the front post treble crochet now. Yarn over twice, 1, 2. Go back to that first skipped double crochet and go from the front out to the back, see, around and back out to the front, just on the other side of that double crochet. On the left side, bring our yarn forward, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, Now we have 2 more of those to do. So let's do it. Yarn over twice. 1, 2, go back, front, back out, bring the yarn forward, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, you guys will see that once you get going, you'll be able to speed this up. Even though it's kind of hidden in there, we know there's one more. There should be one more on the other side. So if we open this up, there it is. There, it's hiding. It's hiding in there. See it? There it is, right there. Okay? So yarn over twice. 1, 2. Front, back, front. Yarn over, pull through to the front. 4 loops. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2, and 3. And this is what we have. We're already starting the cable. It's starting that twisting motion. So we've crocheted into 6 stitches, right? We skipped 3, and then we did the front post treble crochet in the next 3, so that's 3. Then we went back and did the front post treble crochet into the 3 stitches that we skipped, so that's 3 more, so that's 6. That means we have 1 more grouping of 3 that we need to crochet into. That's going to be these next 3, okay? What are we going to do with those 3 stitches? Well, we're just going to put a front post double crochet into them. Okay? Why not a front post treble crochet? Well, we're basically right at those stitches, so we don't need that extra length, and we're not crisscrossing over anything right now. Okay? So we're just going to make front post double crochets. So we only need to yarn over once. This is the stitch. So front, back, front. Bring yarn forward to yarn over. 3 loops. That makes sense because it's a double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go through 2. So we do the yarning over going through 2 only twice with the double crochet, as you guys already know. Next one's front posts here. Front, back, front. And make your double crochet. Last one there. Yarn over from the front out to the back, back out to the front, just on the other side of the stitch. And make your double crochet. Okay. We'll organize this mess in a bit, but let's finish this row. For the 4 remaining stitches, and we knew there should be 4 because we mapped it out. It should be 4, 9 for the cable part, and then 4 more on the other side. And it checks 1, 2, 3, and then remember those 3 remaining chains that counts as a 4th stitch. So we just slice the ice and go back to the regular double crochets. Slicing the icing off the top of the cake and making your double crochet. Next stitch, slice the icing off the top of the cake, make your double crochet. Next stitch, slice the icing off the top of the cake, make your double crochet. And for this final stitch, put the double crochet in that top chain, which is there. Okay, and this is what we have for row 2. And you guys, we're going to be repeating rows 2 through 5, okay? So 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be another, shall we say, 4-row repeat, which I know intimidates some of you guys. Okay, so let's analyze this. Let's look at this for a little bit. Okay, so we started with the 4 regular double crochets. We did the cable work over those 9 stitches, and then we ended with 4 double crochets. Why did I ask you to have some stitch markers if you happen to have some? Because I want to help you mark this territory. It's easy to see where the cables begin, okay? Because the ends are just regular double crochets and they're sitting at the top of the stitches. When you're making the cable stitch, it's using those front posts, okay? So I am going to use stitch markers to mark the beginning and the end of the cable area. So I'll put one here, like that. And then see how this kind of, if you stretch it out, if you put your finger in there, you see that when we turn our work and we go back that way, we get these were made and then these were made. This is when we went back, and then these actual first treble crochets are the first ones we made. So going back in the other direction, the last one will be there. Okay. So that marks the cable area, and then we have the 4 regular double crochets on each side. All right, let's turn our work and start row 3. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and in these first 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to put a double crochet. Remember that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So yarn over, go in there, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make your double crochet. So 1, 2, next stitch, 3, next stitch is 4. And look where we've arrived. We've arrived at that stitch marker, so we know we're about to start the cable area. Alright, so over the next 9 stitches, you guys, we're going to put the back post double crochet. And one thing to note is that, I don't know if you guys can tell, but right now we're working on the back side of the scarf. Okay, it doesn't really look like much of a cable stitches going on this side. That should be a clue that it's not the front side, this is the back side. On the back side, when we do our post stitches, they're always back post stitches. Okay, this is going to be a row of double crochet, so that means that when we get to this cable area, over these 9 stitches, they're always going to be back post double crochets. Okay, this is the front side where you can kind of see the cable action happening, and that's why we did front post. But on this side, the back side, we do back post double crochets. Okay, and the way you want to do this is you want to go in order. So what I like to do is put my finger in there and then kind of pull so that you can see which ones you should be crocheting into. Remember, we always want to go from right to left. So obviously we get to these first, where that stitch marker is. And because we already put this other stitch marker there, we know that that's the last stitch because it was the first stitch in the previous row that we made. So it's going to be the last one here. But if you didn't have these stitch markers, then you could stretch it and say, okay, it's these 3, then those 3, then these 3. And then we get back to the 4 regular double crochets. So that's what we're going to do. So let's take this stitch marker out and let's get to crocheting these back post double crochets, which you guys have not made in this tutorial yet. So let me show you how to do that. Alright, very easy. Yarn over. Here's the stitch right here, the stitch that we're crocheting, that we're posting around. From the back, you come out to the front, you go around the stitch just on the other side, go back out to the back. Our yarn is already there, so we yarn over and then we pull it through to the front for 3 loops because it's a double crochet. Now we yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and that's the back post double crochet. Let's put that stitch marker on that stitch so we'll know that this was the first one that we made. Okay. Alright, so we have 2 more in this grouping of 3. So yarn over from the back out to the front around the stitch, back out to the back. Our yarn is already there, so yarn over, pull through, and make your double crochet. Now you have a second post double crochet. Let's do it one more time. Yarn over from the back, because it's a back post, around to the front, back out to the back, yarn over, and make your double crochet. Alright, so that's that. Now, like I said, if you put your finger here and you stretch, you see that these 3 right here are the next grouping of 3. Even if you didn't stretch, this stitch marker tells you that this is the last group, okay? Because it was the first when we were going in the other direction. So these 3, and remember, because this is the back side of the scarf, all of these stitches are going to be back post double crochets in this 9 stitch area in the cable area. So we just continue making back post double crochets. You may have to kind of open your work up so you can get to the stitches, but it's still the back post. Yarn over from the back, come out through the front, back around, out to the back, yarn over, and complete your back post double crochet. Here's another one. Around from the back, out to the front, around the stitch, back out to the back, and make your double crochet. And these go really fast. I'm just going slow so I can kind of show you. Alright, now it's time for these. So if you stretch it, put your finger in there and stretch, you see this is the next stitch. And once again, that stitch marker is there letting you know that that's the last one we're going to crochet into. Okay. If you keep it bunched, you'll be right there. But that's why it's important to get your finger in there and stretch and see, okay, that one comes next. So once again, these are still back post double crochets. So from the back out to the front, back out to the back, and make your front post double crochets. So this row is a really easy row. Okay? From the back out to the front, back out to the back, and make your back post double crochet. From the back out to the front, around, back out to the back, yarn over, and make your back post double crochet. And since we're at that final stitch, we're going to take the stitch marker out and move it up so we know where we're at. We should already know from our calculations that we should have 4 double crochet left. Okay, so let's see if it works out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes. Alright, so now we're going to just put a regular double crochet in the final 4 stitches. So yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make your double crochet. 1, next stitch gets 1, next stitch gets 1. And don't be confused by this final stitch. Remember, when you chain 1, that's what that is, but just give yourself the aerial view and find the top of the stitch and crochet into that. Okay, that's the top of the stitch. Next stitch and 1. Okay, and this is what you have. So it's going to be doing this weird thing on this back side, but that's normal. Okay, and that, my friends, is row 3. To start row 4, we're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Turn our work, and as always in these first 4 stitches, we're going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and I'm just going to make these double crochets because I want to get to the fun part. I want to get to the action, which is the cable stitch, right? That cable stitch area, that 9 stitch area. But I have to do this boring part first. It's not boring, it's pretty. To get to this area. Okay, now, as is evidenced by the stitch marker, I'm at the cable area. Okay? So this time when we go through the cable area, first of all, we're on the front side, so we know that any posting that we do is going to be a front post. So we're going to come from the front, okay, out to the back and back out to the front. That's what we're going to do because we're not on the back side anymore. So get your mind in front post mode because we're on the front side of our work, the side where we see the cable. All right, so this time when we're going through, it's going to be just a little bit different. The last time we were doing this side, we skipped 3 and then we started the front post treble crochets and then went back and crocheted front post treble crochets on those 3 skipped stitches, and then we put regular front post double crochets in the final 3 stitches of that 9. Notice I kept saying front posts because they were all front post stitches because we're on the front side. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to put 1 front post double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So these 3 stitches, these next ones, 1, 2, 3, we're going to put front post double crochets. So let me take this stitch marker out now. Maybe I should start putting it on the entire stitch so you can clearly see what stitch is what. You'll see what I mean. But once again, you may ask, why are we doing front post double crochets instead of front post treble crochets? Well, look, we're right at the stitch. We don't need to stretch way over here. Okay, we don't need that extra length. We're right here. So we don't need treble crochets. We need double crochets. Front post double crochets are sufficient. So let's do it. Yarn over from the front, go out to the back. Okay. Go around the stitch, come back out to the front just on the other side. Because our yarn is in the back, we bring it to the front and we yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Put the stitch marker on the stitch, and this time I'm going to put it on the whole top so that when we turn our work you can clearly see where the stitch marker is. Okay? Or, better yet, I could even just put it on the back loop so when we turn our work you clearly see where it is. Either option is fine. Alright, I have 2 more of these, so next stitch is there. Front post double crochet, final stitch is there. In this pattern, you're probably going to have to stretch out your work a little bit, like stretch it to see where your stitches are just to make sure you're crocheting in the correct places. Okay? Alright, now we're going to skip 3 stitches. So you see these are the next 3. 1, 2, 3. One way to confirm that these are the next 3 is because we have a grouping of 3 here, and that's our stitch marker. So we know that stitch marker indicates the last grouping. So we know these are definitely the next ones. Not to mention the fact that they're right there next to the stitch too, right? It's kind of obvious. But we're going to skip these 3 stitches. So you'll skip 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into this group, and we're going to do some front post treble crochet. So we're going to put 1 front post treble crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Always going from right to left. Okay? So remember, with the treble crochet, we yarn over twice. So 1, 2. We'll skip 1, skip 2, skip 3. And in this one, just do what I've already taught you. From the front out to the back, come around, back out to the front, bring our yarn forward, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and go through 2 3 times. So yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, and 3. And now we have 2 more stitches that we need to do that. So yarn over, front post. I'm going to just go a little bit faster because I've shown you this before. 2, 3. Yarn over, next and final stitch, yarn over 1, 2, 3. We'll take out that stitch marker now. Put it down there. Okay. Right now you might be thinking, since you're over here, this is going to be the final stitch. So I should put the stitch marker on there. But you're going to see that's not the case, because we still have to go back and do some front post treble crochets into these 3 stitches that we skipped. Still working from right to left, so going in that direction. So once I put my final front post treble crochet on this stitch, because this is the third one, 1, 2, 3, that one, then that's where I'll place my stitch marker, and I'll know that that's the final stitch. So yarn over twice, 1, 2, go back. This is the first one. Okay. From the front out to the back, back out to the front, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay? Yarn over twice, 1, 2. And like I said, you may have to stretch your work to see what you need to. This is the stitch that we're going to be crocheting around. So this is the stitch that we're going to be crocheting around. It's the second one. It's coming after that one. So yarn over twice, 1, 2. Go around it like that, and then make your front post treble crochet by yarning over, going through 2 3 times like that. Alright, the final one is really tucked in there. This is what I mean about having to stretch your work. You know it's there, so just look for it right there. Okay? Yarn over twice, 1, 2, and then commence to making your front post treble crochet like that. Okay, and you can turn your work however you need to crochet it easily. Okay, so as promised, this is the final stitch that I made going in that direction. So that's where my stitch marker goes. And as I said, I'm going to place it on the back loop so that when I turn my work, it's easily identified, which is the where the cable stitch begins. Is something wrong with this? I think, okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm like, it's not clipping. But I got it. Okay, so I have the front one and the back one. That means I've completed the cable stitch area over those 9 stitches. So I should have 4 stitches left. Let's see. Yep, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's put these regular double crochets in these final 4 stitches. Slicing the icing off the top of the cake. Next stitch. Next stitch. And as I said before with this last one, don't be confused by all that's going on. If you give yourself the aerial view, you will very easily be able to identify the top of it. Okay? So it just looks a little weird because there's a chain 1 there. So slice the icing off the top of the cake and make your final double crochet. And there you have it. Look at this beautiful braid. This beautiful cable that is coming to life before our eyes, before our very eyes. Okay, so I got one more row basically to show you. So it's gonna be a back post row because we're gonna be on the back side. So let's get to that. So for row 5, we're going to do what we do for every row. Chain 1, turn our work, and in these first 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to put a double crochet, slicing the icing off the top of the cake. So it's 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, 4th stitch, 4. Okay. So remember, we are now in the cable stitch area between these 9 stitches. From this side you only see 6, right? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But when you make that look bigger, but when you give yourself the aerial view, you see, there are those right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you need to know in what order to crochet over these. So when it's like this, you may think that this right here is where you start, but no, remember, that's why I put the stitch marker there. So when there's where it overlaps, it helps to kind of put your finger in between like that and spread it out, and then you can clearly see the order. So I start with these 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me get this. 1, 2, 3. Then I go to this group, 1, 2, 3, and then of course I end with this group, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's why I put the stitch markers for you beginners to help you more easily be able to identify your stitches. Okay, alright, so let's get to crocheting. So we're on the back side, so we know that over these 9 stitches I will make back post double crochets. So let's get started. I'm going to take this stitch marker out. As soon as I make this first one, I'm going to replace it. Alright, so yarn over one time because it's the double crochet. From the back, come out to the front like that. Go back out to the back. My yarn is already there, so yarn over, pull through. Then yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's the first back post that I'm making in this direction, so I'm going to put my stitch marker on there now. Okay, so that means that's the last stitch that I'm going to get to when I'm making my way back to this side in the next row. If you want, you can turn your work like this and see, okay, so I'm going to crochet here, then here, then I'm going to crochet over those 3 that are in there, and then I'm going to crochet over these final 3. Okay, that's what stretching will do for you. Alright, so let's continue. Back post goes, and like I said, if it helps you, you can turn your work to see what you're doing. So I know this is the next stitch, so from the back like this, that's what it looks like on this side. So from the back, coming out to the front, going around to the other side, back out to the back, and then yarn over it and make my back post double crochet. I'm trying to give you guys the best views. Okay, so yarn over, next one. If I turn my work, I'm coming from the back out to the front, and this is what it looks like on this side. I'm coming out to the front, right? See it there? Now I'm going around the stitch, back out to the back like that. Just on the other side, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Alright, those are the back posts. Now, in this grouping, this is the next one, so I do the same thing with these 3. Yarn over, my finger there, so I can clearly identify where I'm going. From the back out to the front, without splitting my yarn. Okay, yarn over, so from the back out to the front, on the right side of the stitch, back out to the back, yarn over, and complete my front post, or my back post double crochet. Here's the next one. From the back out to the front, back out to the back. Just complete it. I'm going to take this last one really slow so you see from the back like that. Just on the other side, go back out to the back, pull through. Make sure you don't grab anything you shouldn't. and then yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And it gets really bunched up on this side, but don't worry, it's going to be beautiful on the other side. Alright, so that's 6 of the 9 back post double crochets that I have to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have these last 3. These will be pretty easy. So yarn over from the back. There's this space there, so it makes it easy to get to that stitch. Okay, next one. From the back around, back out to that side. And then once again, just to make sure that you have it, let me go a little bit slower with this one. So I yarn over. Here's the final one where that stitch marker is. From the back, because it's a back post, out to the front. Just around and back out to the back. My yarn is there. So now I'll yarn over, pull through. I have 3 loops, and I yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2, and then yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. Okay. I want to take this stitch marker off now and put it on the stitch that I just created, the final stitch that I just made, the final back post double crochet. Put it on the back loop so that when I turn my work I see exactly where this cable section will start. And now I'm left with these 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just put a regular double crochet in those 4 stitches. 1, next stitch. 2, next stitch. 3, and remember for this last stitch, always just give yourself the area of view. So identify the top. Slice the icing off the top and put that stitch in there like that. And this is what we have. Okay. So this is the pattern. We're looking at the back side, and that's why we did back post double crochet. Okay. Now we're going to chain 1, turn our work. And we know we always start out by putting 1 double crochet in the first 4 stitches of each row. So I chained 1. Now I'm going to put a double crochet in those first 4 stitches before I get to the cable stitch area. So go right in there, make your double crochet. 1, next one. 2, next one. 3, next one. And 4. Okay, so this is what we have. And basically, we just repeat rows 2 through 5 until we get to our desired length. So you see this cable, beautiful cable stitch, the arabelle cable stitch, is forming, you guys, before our very eyes. And so now we go back to row 2, okay? That pattern for row 2. I will leave timestamps for these different rows until you guys get the hang of it. But basically, you really only have to memorize, I mean, I would say 3 rows, but really one of those 3 rows is just the, 4 double crochet, 1 back post in the 9, 1 back post, double crochet in the 9 cable stitches, and then end it with 4 double crochets. That's easy enough. So really you only have to memorize the 2 different cable rows. The one we did here and the one we just completed there. So now we're going to go back to, I'm going to start you one more time with row 2 just in case you forgot. And we see once again that these stitch markers identify the cable section area. So once you get to the stitch marker, you know, okay, I'm in the cable section. Now it's time to do that. Alright, so I chained 1, I turned my work, I put 1 double crochet in the first 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now remember, this one is where you skip the next 3 stitches. So let's see. So these 3, 1, 2, 3, where that stitch marker is, 1, 2, 3. I skip those 3, and then I'm going to put, and remember this is the front side. I'm going to put, do a front post around these 3 stitches. If it helps you remember, because they're far away, it's not like you're putting them right there. Because they're far away, that should tell you that you're going to need some length, some distance. And for that reason, you're going to use the front post treble crochet, okay? So yarn over twice, 1, 2, skip 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to start making my front post treble crochets, Okay, I'm going to move faster now because you've seen this before. And like I said, I'm going to have timestamps to these anyway. I just want to get you started with this row, because you guys know I spoil you. Alright, so that's that. Those are my front post treble crochets. Now I know I need to go back, but I need to move the stitch marker first. You see the order already. Even though we have to go back and put stitches here, you see when you look from here to here that this is actually the first stitch after this grouping of regular double crochets. So that, you guys, is where the stitch marker goes. This is telling you right here, you went from this double crochet to that front post treble crochet, which means this is the first stitch starting the cable area. So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put that in that stitch. Now I'm going to go back, and once again I'm going to need some distance, some length to get back there to these stitches. So that tells me that I need to use the treble crochet. Okay, so yarn over 1, 2, go back to this first one right there and do what I do. You guys already know what to do. So yarn over, go through 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I contort my work and turn it in all different ways when I'm crocheting these. Whatever is easiest for me to be able to do it, that's what I do, so don't mind me. Alright, so now I'm going there. See how I turn it just to make it easier to get these made. Do what works for you guys, okay? One more. Remember, they're gonna hide, but you know where it is, so just spread your work and get in where you need to get in to make it happen. Okay, so I've made 6 of the 9 front post stitches in this cable stitch, and now I'm at the final 3. 1, 2, 3. And because I'm right there, here's where the yarn is, my hook is, I'm right there. I don't need the treble. I don't need a front post treble. I just need a regular front post double. I don't need that extra length. So I just put a front post double crochet in these next 3. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay. And if you're wondering which one it is, well, this stitch already has a front post in it, so I know this is the next stitch. So front post around it. Next stitch, front post, double crochet, of course. That's why we only yarned over once. And then one more. My nail, I need to cut my nails. Yes, it sounds so, I'm sorry to say that. I'm not a nail person, but it's kind of frayed and it's catching on this yarn. It's really, really, very annoying. Yarn over, you guys probably didn't need to know that, but if you're wondering why I'm kind of moving funnily, that's why. Alright, so I'm going to take that stitch marker out, and in this final stitch that I just made, obviously that's where the stitch marker goes, but I'm going to put it in the back loop so that when I turn my work I can easily identify it. Okay, and that creates the cable. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, and then in these final 4 stitches I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each of them. Yeah, I definitely gotta cut these nails down. So annoying. I feel like they grow so fast too. It's like, ugh. Okay, so that's that. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? I really love this. So we know that when we turn our work, because we will be looking on the back side, remember you see the cable forming, you see the cable on the front side. Hence why I only did front post stitches. But when I turn my work, I'm going to be on the back side. And the back side means I put back post double crochets. So chain 1, as always, turn my work. And that first stitch I put a double crochet, as always. And put 1 double crochet, regular double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Like that. Okay, and then that takes me to the stitch marker, and then I put a back post double crochet in each of these 9 cable stitches. Okay, and remember, the only thing that you need to worry about on this side is making sure you go in the right order. So I know I start with the stitch marker, that's these 3, 1, 2, 3. If I put my finger in there and stretch, I see, okay, it goes from that one to that one, so then it's those 3, and then if I stretch it, I see it goes from that one to that one, and then these are the last 3. But that stitch marker on the end also tells you that you do those last. Okay, so put your back posts double crochets in there. I will finish this this row with you guys. I want to give you as much detail as possible since you're giving me a go, you're giving this video a go. So I can help you out since you're helping yourself. I'm just putting a back post in each of these. Okay, I'm going to take this stitch marker out now. And you can always look. Okay, I went from this final regular double crochet to that one, so that is the next stitch. Okay, that's where my cable area began. All right, I put my finger in there, stretch it. Okay, I see these are the next ones, so I'm going to put my back post double crochets in each of those 3 stitches. And like I said before, I turn my work in whatever way I need to, just so I can see what I need to see to make these. Okay, and since I've already shown you this several times, I'm not worried that you guys, that's the same stitch. I'm not worried that you guys are not able or have not been able to see what you need to see. But this is why I turn my work, so that I can make sure I'm going in the right places. Alright, and now I just need these final 3. So it goes from that one, you see the yarn around that one, to this one. So now I'm going to do back posts in these final 3. 1, and the next one is there, so 2, and then the final with the stitch marker is 3. So those are my 9 back post double crochets. Okay, and then I'm going to take the stitch marker out, put it into the stitch that I just made, because that's the final stitch in the cable stitch area. And then I know I have 4 regular double crochets to make to get me to the end of this row. So 1, back in there for 2, sorry, not back in there for 2, next stitch for 2, next stitch for 3, and final stitch for 4. Okay, so those are my back post stitches. And now when I turn it over, I see, I'll chain 1, turn it over, and then I see, more of the cable is forming. How so beautiful, right? Okay, and then it'll be time for the other cable, front post cable row. So you guys have the pattern, just go to the appropriate timestamps to get what you need. But with this next one, you'll put your 4 double crochet, and then you're going to put front post double crochet over the 3, skip those 3, do treble, front post treble crochet, and then go back and do front post treble crochet over the 3 you skipped, and then end with the 4 regular double crochet. So see, the pattern is very easy to memorize. You just have to go through it a few times, and you also have the timestamps. So I'm going to put some length on this, check back in, and then wrap up this video. I'm so proud of you guys who decided to try this pattern out. You definitely got this. And when you find the perfect colorway, dare I say like this, yeah, your scarf is going to be on fire. Alright, I'll check back in later. Bye. So if you got this far, find a creative way to include the word scarlet. Alright, you guys, my scarf is turning out beautifully. Hopefully yours is as well. I have about this much left of this skein. So I wanted to take this opportunity to just show you, go through the pattern one more time, just in case you didn't get it before. You guys know how I like to be very thorough. So, alright, so we're on the front side. Remember, front side means we do front post stitches. So we start out by chaining 1, and then we put a double crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, next stitch, 4. For me, I can look here and see what I'm supposed to do next without having to look at the pattern. So I already see that I have a row of front posts there. That's, you know, it's not like tucked there. It's like there are actually a couple of rows, but it's about that long. So when I see that I already have it clearly going in that direction, I know that it's not time to do another one because it would be too high. I know it's time to cross over. So that tells me it's time for those front posts, treble or triple crochets. So yarn over twice, I skip these 3 stitches and I go to the one thereafter and I start making those front post treble crochets. You may need to pull it apart to get to the stitch to get around it. Alright, and we know we have one more because we're working in groups of 3. Alright, because I skipped these, it's time to go back to them. And because it's not right where my hook is, I need treble because I need that extra length. So I yarn over twice, go back to the first one because I always go from right to left when I'm crocheting this pattern. Alright, time for the second one. I need to pull it apart a little bit to see it, but it's there. And the third one is usually really hidden, okay? But I know that there are 3, so I'm in no danger of missing it. Alright, so it's right there. So yarn over twice and just go back to that. Go posting around it. Front posting around it. Alright, now that takes me over here. And then for these final 3, because remember it's a total of 9 for the cable stitch, I just make regular front post double crochets because once again I don't need that extra length. I'm right there at these stitches. They're not covering a large distance. And then of course I'm going to end with the 4 regular double crochets, slicing the icing off the top of the cake. And then this one, give yourself the aerial view so you can easily identify the top. Alright, I chain 1, I turn my work. And I remember, okay, this is the back side. Remember, you won't be able to see the cable, you just see this weirdness. So that tells you you're on the back side. And on the back side, you're going to do the back post stitches when we get to the cable area. So, as always, chain 1 and then put a double crochet in the first 4 stitches, including the very first one where that chain 1 is coming out of. 1. Okay, next stitch. That's 2. Next stitch. 3. Next stitch is 4. And you guys will notice I don't have the stitch markers anymore. That was for the beginners. Okay. Alright, so now it's time to do those back post double crochets. Remember, the back side is always back post double crochets. No trebles, okay? Alright, so yarn over once, come from the back. I'm going around the stitch right there. I'll yarn over, pull through to the front, and then yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And I just keep doing that in the order that the stitches come to me, okay? Whenever you see it overlap, you know that you need to get your finger in there and pull apart, and then pull it apart, and that'll tell you exactly what is the next stitch. So when I do that, get my finger in there and pull it apart, I clearly see that from the back side it looks like this might be the next stitch, but get my finger in there and pull it apart, I see, okay, this is actually the next stitch. Okay, so that's a little trick to very easily be able to identify the next stitch. So I know I got these 3. If you want, you can kind of turn it over so you can see what you're doing. I don't need to really turn it over, I can just fill it, but it's another tip. Alright, and now I know it's time for these final 3. But once again, if I stick my finger in and pull it apart, I see it clearly goes from that one to that one, so that's the next stitch, and you can see where I posted around there. Okay, so yarn over. Remember, This row is all back post double crochets, so it's the same type of posting stitch. So once we get through that area, that'll take us to the side where now we make the 4 regular double crochets. So just slice the icing off the top of the cake and put 1 double crochet in each of these. And remember the final stitch, give yourself the aerial view, slice the icing off the top of the cake and make it. Chain 1 and turn your work. Alright, so now it's time for that other front post cable row, okay? And once again, I'm on the front side, so it's front post. I always start out by putting a double crochet in the first 4 stitches, including the one that chain 1 is coming out of. And then I'll get to my 9, okay? Alright, so I'm here, and this is what I was talking about. This is barely out of there, and what I mean is there's not much height to this, so I know that it's time for me to front post around these first 3. I know it's not time to crisscross yet, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to front post. It only comes up, you only see basically a little bit coming out that way, and then the next row where we just did the back post, that goes up a little bit, but that's not high enough, and that tells me I need to do some more work here. That's how I keep it in my head. So I know these first 3 get front post double crochets. Why? We don't need the extra length. We're right at the stitches, okay? So that's how I remember that. Just spread it apart and get the appropriate stitch. Alright, so now that I've done that, it's time to skip 3 stitches. Every cable front post row, you know you're going to be skipping 3 stitches at some point. Since we didn't skip those 3 stitches at the beginning, we have to skip them now. We know, okay, well, I can't crochet here, crochet through these because I'll be there, then there will be no stitches to skip. So since I didn't skip any stitches here, it must be time to skip stitches, the 3 stitches now, which is there. So we're going to skip those 3. But to get to these stitches, I'm going to need that extra length. So I yarn over twice. That means it's time for the front post treble crochets. These are the things that I think about that help me keep everything straight in my head, okay? And I'm just going from right to left, right? All right, now it's time to go back to those skip stitches. So I yarn over twice, still going from right to left, picking up the first one and making that. Picking up the second one, I'm spreading it to make sure I can easily identify the stitch that I'm posting around. Okay, and then the third one is always really hidden, but if you pull it apart, you see it there. So you guys can see that this pattern is not hard at all, especially once you get going. So now we've done our 9 stitches, our 9 cable posting stitches, so now we're at the 4 remaining regular double crochets. So you see this one is where we post it, so this is the next stitch, and we just put a regular double crochet in it, slicing the icing off the top of the cake. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to do one more row on camera. Alright, I'm looking at the back side because there's just craziness. I don't know what is going on right there, but it's crazy. So I'm on the back side, which means when it's time to do post stitches, they will all be back post stitches, and even more than that, they'll all be back post double crochet stitches, okay? But we're not there yet. So we're going to first start out by putting a regular double crochet in the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, as I said, if you want to know which stitches to crochet into first, because we always go from right to left in this pattern, you want to stick your finger, see where it overlaps, see how it's overlapping there? Just stick your finger in there and pull apart. When you pull it apart, you see that this is the next stitch. So it goes from that one to that one to that one, and then it goes from this one to this one, that one, and then clearly those are the last 3. Okay, so if you're ever confused about which ones to go into first, that's how you know. Stick your finger in the overlap and pull apart, and you'll clearly see it's going whoosh that way. Alright, so now I'm going to just put my back post double crochets around these stitches. 1, here's the next one, 2, here's the next one, 3, stick my finger in there and pull. So this is the last one that I posted around. That means this is the next one. So I yarn over, post around that one. 1, 2, and 3. And now the last 3 are easy enough. 1, 2, I'll give you this view this time. This is the last one. 3. And now we're just at the 4 regular double crochet. So yarn over, slice the icing on top of the cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, turn your work, and those are the 4 rows of repeat. Let me see what you have on this side. Okay, so now front side, that means I'm going to do front post stitches. I'll chain 1, put my 4 regular double crochets in the first 4 stitches, so 1 in each one. And then here, this is what I was saying at the beginning. See how I have like 1, 2, 3 rows dedicated to stitches going in that direction? That tells me I don't need to add another one. It's time to do the crossover. So I want to skip these 3 and then do the front post double crochet in those 3. Then I'll go back to the 3 stitches that I skipped, and then over here I'll just finish off with front post double crochets and then the 4 regular double crochets at the end. Alright, so that's the pattern. Hopefully this has been helpful. Just have a little bit more of this yarn to add on here, and then we'll be done with this for row. So I have this much yarn left, so I'm going to do my final row, but I'm going to make it a row of single crochet just to kind of finish this off. So I'll chain 1, I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm going to put a single crochet in every stitch across. Turn my work. Alright, so single crochet goes in there where that chain 1 was coming out of. 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the next stitch. 5, 6, 7. When I stretch it out, I see it goes from there to there, so that's the next stitch. 8, 9, I stretch it, 10, and when I stretch it, I see it goes from there to there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And wow, look at that. That's like right at the end of this game. Alright, so that's my final row. Alright, and yeah, assuming you'll have more than this, you'll weave it in. I'm going to find a way to secure this since I don't have much tail. I'll show you in the meantime how to secure this in. So just kind of roll it. If it's frayed, you can cut it a little bit, then roll it. That sounds so bad, roll it. Alright, feed it through the eye of the needle, and then just go through some stitches in one direction, through the color of the yarn that you're weaving in, preferably, and then go back, taking a slightly different path, in the opposite direction. Alright, and then make sure you reshape your work back to the way it was, and then cut your yarn. Like that. Okay? As I said, I'm about to find a way to secure this since I don't have much tail. I think what I'm going to do is just use a crochet hook. Alright, so I'm going to roll this. This is very unorthodox, but you do what you have to. Take the smaller crochet hook, go in, yarn over, pull through to the front, and then I'm going to chain one to create a little knot. Like that. And now it's secure. Alright, and if I was worried about this not being super secure, I could try to do it again, but it's secure. So, alright, so that's that. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, let me zoom out so we can wrap up this video. Alright guys, so this is the scarf. It ended up being, let's do the width. Okay, so it's like 6.5 inches wide, I would say. Yeah, like 6.5 inches wide, which is about 16.5 centimeters, and it's also 60 inches long, which is about 152.5 centimeters. So yeah, it's a beautiful scarf, and I really hope you beginners, and maybe even some of you who are not beginners, but you know, never had the confidence to feel like you could actually make the cable stitch, make something using the cable stitch. Is not as complicated as it seems. And as I always say, complex things can always be broken down into smaller, more organized steps, and then when you put it together, you arrive at something beautiful. So just because something seems or maybe is complicated, that should not serve as a reason to deter you from attempting it. All you have to do is break it down step by step, and you can do it. If it's been done, then it can be done again. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. You know, I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.